I'm describing this episode here and there because people laugh or think I do it for attention. But it occurred in 2017, and up to this time, I avoid looking into mirrors as much as I can. It started on a Wednesday night. My then housemate Jason had a job, and I was at home alone in our apartment. I was 25 years old and lived in a tiny two-bedroom apartment in Springfield, Illinois. No mansion, creaky wood floorboards, leaky faucet, and mildew-smelling bathroom in spite of my best efforts at cleaning it. But home. I returned from work around 9:30 that night. I remember taking off my shoes, putting my keys on the counter, and slicing a clean line across to the bathroom, the splashing water all over my face. I've been gazing at a screen for hours during the day, and my eyes were murdering me. The sink mirror was a frayed-out mirror around the edges. I never liked the way it made my face squint and tilt. A little bit. Look, like my face was half an eighth of an inch to one side. I threw cold water at my face, pinched my eyes, and gazed upward. I could have sworn my reflection half blanked before mine. I was there, my head completely scrambled. I first believed that I was dreaming everything because I was tired. My second one was, okay, perhaps I blinked, but it didn't register because I was not concentrated. So I believe, let me try. I glared determinedly at myself. The bathroom was still except for the distant noise of drip of tap. Then, after what seemed like an eternity, my left eye flashed and I did not blink. My entire body numb. I stepped back, gasping. I had to try and say it away from being some kind of optical illusion, light illusions. Then my image created this tiny, fast, ugly, cruel smile I hadn't made. I left the bathroom and shut the door. I avoided that room for the remainder of the evening. I slept on the couch, convincing myself that I must have dreamed it all. I mean, reflections do not just go wandering around on their own, do they? The next morning, the sun was making whatever was not so bad not quite so scary. I giggled at myself, made some coffee, and into the bathroom, I went to shower for work. I still looked at myself in the mirror just to remind myself I was okay. Nothing happened this time either. My reflection was just behind me at the same time as me, which it was supposed to be. I was foolish to be so frightened. But one evening it did it again. I was flossing at midnight and noticed that I was leaning forward in the mirror even though I was standing stiffly upright on my feet. My toothbrush fell from my hands and clattered into the sink. I stepped back, but the reflection did not. It just kept leaning forward, looking into my eyes with eyes that sent shivers down my spine. Then its lips curled. I never did see anything, but I did catch sight of the silhouette of the words, "Let me out." I fled. I slept with lights on and bathroom doors securely closed. It was not better for the rest of the days. I could view the image of my head spinning too rapidly a fraction of a second earlier than mine. There were even times when it would take longer in saying things than mine, like the smile that would remain the same, even though it had already been repeated on me. I caught a glimpse of it out of the corner of my eye on one evening, sitting on the couch in front of the television. I got up and walked over and looked at the black television screen, and there I was sitting behind me, in the background on the couch with a grin on my face. I turned around again. No one was there. Turning round once more, the television screen was simply displaying me sitting alone on the sofa again. By Saturday morning, I was contemplating actually leaving the apartment. Jason was coming back the very next day, and I did not want to go crazy. So I figured I would just pretend that nothing had occurred. That night, I had the worst nightmare of my life. I know, on the bathroom floor in front of the mirror, but I wasn't supposed to be there. The walls were cracked and painted over with black mold. My reflection was off. Its skin was white and pulled too tight over bony prominences, its eyes too dark. And it just kept repeating something, saying something over and over, but I couldn't quite hear what it was. Then it pounded its fists against the glass so violently that cracks started to radiate from within and designs on the outside. I awoke in a cold sweat with a thumping heart. I never slept again. Jason returned on Sunday afternoon. I had not had the time yet to tell him, in part because I was not sure how to tell him. How do you say to someone, "Hi, my mirror's been partying alone for days"? But then later that night, I caught him in the bathroom, nervously laughing. He came out of the bathroom, and I'm like, "What are you laughing about?" He was uncomfortable. Dude, this is gonna sound crazy, but did you ever get the feeling the mirror's like off or something? My heart dropped. What do you mean? I was brushing my teeth, and I could have sworn you were like literally right behind me. But I knew you were in the kitchen. I turned and there was nothing. And I checked again, and my reflection was just smiling. Like too big. I was ill. I wasn't by myself. We did a 2x2. We were side by side in front of the mirror. It was okay at first. Then my reflection's hand started tapping slowly against the glass, steady beats, but I wasn't tapping. Jason's eyes opened. "Ah, that's it," he said. "We're going to cover this thing up." We used a bed sheet from the closet to cover the mirror. It only lasted for a couple of hours. Out of sight, out of mind. I woke up at 3 a.m. when I overheard the sound of soft, scratchy noise like fingernails on glass. I was awake and sitting up. I was in the bathroom. I awakened Jason, and both of us went to look. The bed sheet was on the floor, all crumpled as if it was yanked off. The mirror was bare, and both our reflections didn't budge. We weren't moving where we were, but our images in the mirror were closer to the glass, watching us. Then mine tilted its head at the same strange angle I'd already noticed, and Jason smiled that stupidly wide smile. And then both of them raised their hands and palm-slapped themselves against the glass. The bathroom was chilly to almost freezing. I was misting my breath and swore on God the glass was rippling, watery. The fingers of my reflection were melting into it, slowly, like pulp. It was seeping in. Jason screamed, grabbed my arm, and we ran. We didn't stop until we were out of the apartment complex. We called the landlord at the crack of dawn the next day and informed them we were vacating the premises immediately. We didn't even return to get most of our belongings. 2 weeks passed, and I heard one of the neighbors say they had a new tenant. I said nothing to them. I didn't care. I have not looked in a dark-room mirror since. And at night late, every so often, walking by a window, I catch myself thinking my reflection is a bit behind before catching up to cruising speed.